R.T. Scott, my man.
What's up, George? How are you?
You hold a lot of records in Memphis.
I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, he holds a record for comebacks. This is comeback number 6 for R.T. Scott. And when I had the Christmas charity shows for the poor people of Memphis, we did 40 years of them, 40 of them, and R.T. did about 20 of them for me.
I did.
So you hold a record there. And also something about bars. Well, you hold a record behind bars?
I do. Being behind bars, drinking bars, handlebars, all of them.
All the bars.
Jail bars, yeah.
And how's your brother Chris doing?
My brother Chris is fine. Everybody's fine. And want to say happy birthday to my mother, 87. So.
Oh, is she? 87?
Yes, sir.
You still live in Senatobia?
Still living down there.
Remember
down
that
in
guy
Mississippi.
at country singer Obie from Senatobia?
I do, very well.
Did you ever know Obie?
I didn't ever know him, but I sure remember him. And I thought he was going to take off and do a Charlie Pride, do as well as Charlie.
Too.
But he never did catch.
Didn't happen. How did you get started, man? Did you start in rock and roll and move over to country rock? Or what?
I did start in rock and roll when I was like 15 in a rock band down in Senatobia. And I was at a rehearsal with a friend of mine who was a drummer. Singer didn't show up, and he said, "Get him up here. He knows all the tunes." And that's where I started. So, and I bounced back and forth, but my roots are deep.
This is your 6th album coming out.
This is, yes.
6.
Yeah, this will be the new one. It's called Life Behind Bars. Life Behind Bars.
You cut that in Memphis, too, didn't you?
I cut it, yes. And we just finished it up over at Young Avenue with Kevin Houston, cameraman studio over there. And I cut with Dan Ward, my brother Chris Scott, and Kevin Houston did the mixing down on it. So it'll be coming out in November here. So,
how's your little brother Chris doing?
Chris is good. He's good.
He's doing good.
He's still running the studio for Chris Cordevellis over there.
All of those outlaw guys, who inspired you the most, R.T.?
All of them, just a combination. Yeah, I mean, I was a big David Allan Coe fan. I always have, and still am. I love the old David Allan Coe stuff.
He used to play the slots down in Tunica. I'd see him down there.
Yeah, quite a bit. I think they run him off, didn't they?
David Allan Coe, boy.
David Allan Coe.
He's one of the original.
Willie Whalen and me.
And Haggard, huh?
That's right.
And Hank Jr., I guess you can throw him in there, couldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. I did some shows with him. And,
Hank Jr.?
Yeah, back years ago. Remember after we won that Marlboro thing, we opened up the Coliseum for the show with Hank Jr.
Did he fire the rifle in the building?
I think that was after the half a gallon of Jim Beam. Yeah, probably did.
Bill Marshall, Memphis used to play drums for him.
All those Memphis guys. Yeah. Rick Steff, who played on my album here, he used to play with him. And Ray and Bill Marshall, and Billy E. There was a lot of the Memphis guys played with him.
Folks, you don't know how hard it is to get an album contract these days. This guy right here, he had 2 on Polygram. Does that recall? And also, weren't you with Southern Creed for a minute?
No, they were with me.
They were with you? Okay.
Remember, Southern Creed broke up, and I hired Steve Engel, the guitar player, and James Flynn, the bass player, who I still play with today.
Steve's still around?
Steve's still around, man. Doing good.
Are they working at Southern Creed, or?
No, I think they still do their Christmas show down at Mike Glenn's at the Daisy, but no, they did. That's about all they do is do that.
Tell me about the new album now.
The new album, man. Let me tell you, I had everybody. Eric Lewis cut on it. Harry Peel, Gary Adair, Terry Bailey. Reba Russell is all over it. She sings all over it. Yeah,
and she is a great talent that didn't make it big.
Yeah, she and I do a duet on this record. And Rick Steff, as I said, played keyboard. Tommy Burroughs. I even had Sam Shoup come in and do juice harp. And,
Sam did.
Yeah, man. And it's a good record. And if you don't like real country music, don't even waste your money.
But it's the real deal, folks. This guy's a real deal. He ain't just a guy that came down here dressed in black and all that. I've been around him a whole lot for many years, and he's the real thing. But, man, I tell you what, R.T., I forgot that you were on Polydor Records, man.
Yeah.
But folks, what I'm
Dick Wingate was the head.
I repeat that. It's hard to get a contract these days.
Yeah, back then they only were signing like about 12 or 13 acts a year. They were only, and I was fortunate enough to get in that. Of course, sometimes you're your own worst enemy and things get in the way. But yeah, I did. I got a couple records out on that, and then I signed a deal with Sony, and then all these I've been doing myself. The last few years, just independent. No, record deals are few and far between now. You know,
But if you do it yourself, you know you're going to get the money.
if you do it yourself, you're going to get the money. You may not get the exposure of the big time guys. But
Well,
you
Artie,
got
you
to get
tell
the
Chris, your
distribution.
brother, I said hello.
I certainly will do it, man. It's good to see you.
And
Thank
Artie,
you and
before-
Herbie for having me out here.
Well, you're a mainstay in Memphis, man. You're right there with, I can't remember too many other guys. Don, whatever, is still around, and
Singleton,
Yeah.
Don Singleton,
Yeah,
still around,
and-
right? Yeah, big time. And
what did you think of Reggie Young as a guitar player?
the best.
Was he
Of course, he
great?
did all that great Hank Jr.
Yeah.
All the Dixie on My Mind and all the great stuff on there. I loved him, you know.
He traveled with that show too that Hank and all them and Willie and all them went on the road. They had the Memphis Boys.
Highwayman, yeah.
Highwayman.
Yeah, Robbie Turner.
Yeah.
My big
Is Robbie
buddy.
still picking?
Robbie's got a studio in Nashville. Still
Does he
picking
really?
the best steel guitar
Well, he's
player
a fine
ever, man.
steel guitar player.
He is. He totally is.
RD, the album is out. The
album is out.
How do they get it? How they download it or what?
Yeah, you can download it. You can go to my page, my web page, and get it. You know, you can go to. I forget. You have to ask my wife.
What's the
She's
name of the
keeps
album,
up.
RT?
It's called Life Behind Bars. It's called
What kind
Life
of
Behind-
bars now?
And that's prison bars, drinking bars, and handlebars.
Handlebar. RT Scott, I'm telling you, folks, he's the real deal. This is the sixth comeback, and we hope this is the one.
This is the one. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it,
Thanks for
George,
coming down.
Herbie.
RT Scott, Memphis Sounds with GK.